You know that moment when you land in a new country, there's no data, can't find your ride, and your hotel address just won't load. Guys, that's not a travel problem, that's an app problem. Hi, I'm Yaya from Nomad Story, and in this video, I'm going to show you the only travel apps you actually need in 2026. The ones that actually make your trip smoother, easier, and way less stressful. Let's start with flights. So if you like flexibility, Skyscanner is one of the best tools out there. You can compare routes, prices, and dates all in one place. However, there's something most people don't think about. I have Air Canada as an app permanently because I travel often, and sticking with the same airline or airline group allows me to build points, get upgrades, and if you pair it with the right credit card, the perks add up really quickly. You can even get free flights. So either go full flexibility or full loyalty. Don't sit in the middle. For navigation and transport, this is where trips can fall apart really quickly and you can lose a lot of time trying to figure out where you're going or where you are. I use two apps. Google Maps for everyday use, directions, safe places, restaurants, looking up for what's in the vicinity. And then Maps.me as a backup. It works offline, which means even if you have zero data, you can still find your way around. That alone saves a lot of stress. You do have to download the map ahead of time, but once it's there, you're good. And then for getting around, Uber or Lyft, it seems obvious, but there's no language barrier, there's no confusion, you just get in and go. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't remember the last time I traveled without my phone and data. So if you're still landing somewhere and trying to figure out a SIM card at the airport, stop doing that. Get an eSIM app. There's a lot of options out there, but right now I've been using Roamless. And what I like about it is that it's one eSIM that works across all of my trips. I don't have to keep installing new plans every time I go somewhere new. And so you just load it like a bank of credit and you use the data as you need it. And the balance, you use it for your next trip. So you're not stuck in buying a plan that runs out too fast or paying for more data than you actually use. Plus, sometimes the plans are like too short or too long. It's hard to gauge. The other options like AirAllo and Saily, which are also solid, but I really just prefer Roamless. It's a lot easier. And having data the second you land makes all other apps actually usable. For places to stay, I like to keep it simple with maybe a bonus. So Airbnb is my absolute go-to. I love that you can get a local place. I like having my own kitchen and something that's home away from home. But if you want more variety, booking.com gives you every single thing under the sun. Now, if you're okay with flexibility and not having every night locked in, you can get some really great deals on Hotwire. It's not for everyone, but it's a bit of a go with the flow, and you could save a lot of money that way. For communication, I recommend DeepL as opposed to Google Translate. It's a lot more accurate than most apps, especially for full sentences. So for more context-driven conversation, it's a lot easier and a lot more accurate. Let's talk about payments. So yes, you have your normal credit card and normal debit card that typically works everywhere, but usually comes with really high fees. So for payments, I like to use Wise. It's got a lot better exchange rates, lower fees, and you can also manage a lot of different currencies all in one place. And where it gets really useful is for bigger payments. So if you're booking something like a charter or a tour, or like a charter like we do at Nomad Story, and it requires a deposit, instead of going to the bank and doing a full wire transfer that has very high fees, it's time consuming, you can use Wise, and within a couple of minutes, the other person's get that deposit. On top of that, you can get a debit card. So you can load it ahead of time and just use it like a normal card throughout your entire trip. For storage, I think this is a little underrated. People don't talk about this enough. But if you've ever had like a late flight or you had to check out early, it's really annoying to figure out where you need to put your luggage. This is where Bounce comes in. Bounce is kind of like an Airbnb of luggage storage and lets you find luggage storages near you, and then you can just leave it there and enjoy the rest of your day. It's simple, but it's completely changed my experience. Last but not least, there's ChatGPT, or your favorite AI buddy. This is like the backup or the Swiss knife to everything for last minute itineraries, recommendations, translations, just random questions. It really fills the gap where other apps don't quite get you there. And if you preload a thread with what your trip is and stuff, it can really become like your own traveling assistant. At the end of the day, travel doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need 20 apps, you just need the right ones. So set these up before your next trip and you'll spend a lot less time figuring things out and way more time actually enjoying where you are. If you found this helpful, drop a like and let me know what apps you've been using on your trips, and let's start a conversation.